We're working to connect a region of over 600 cultural bridges between our lands.
Hello and welcome to ASEAN in Focus. I'm Maricar Velasco, delivering to you the latest news in and around the ASEAN region. On today's headlines, more than 16,000 scared residents have fled an unrest-hit city in Indonesia's Papua region, the military said Monday, as one of the deadliest eruptions of violence in years sparked calls for an independent probe. The Department of Labor and Employment on Monday announced the total ban on the deployment of overseas Filipino workers to South Sudan due to the unstable peace and security situation in the North African region. One of the world's longest water slides was unveiled in Malaysia, a kilometer-long chute that starts on a hilltop before twisting and turning through dense jungle and splashing into a pool. More than 16,000 scared residents have fled an unrest-hit city in Indonesia's Papua region, the military said Monday, as one of the deadliest eruptions of violence in years sparked calls for an independent probe. Several dozen people were killed when violence broke out in Wamena City last month, with some victims burned alive when buildings were ablaze and others stabbed in the chaos, according to authorities. Since mid-August, Papua has been hit by waves of mass protests and violence fueled by racism against indigenous Papuans and Indonesians from other parts of the archipelago, as well as calls for self-rule in the impoverished region. The majority of Papuans are Christian and ethnic Melanesian, with few cultural ties to the rest of Muslim-majority Indonesia. On Monday, the Air Force said about 11,400 people, mostly migrants, had been evacuated aboard military aircraft. Several thousand more have left aboard commercial aircraft since late September. Also Monday, Human Rights Watch called for a probe into 33 deaths during the Wamena riots to be led by the Southeast Asian country's National Commission on Human Rights. President Rodrigo Duterte said he was suffering from an illness that causes muscle weakness. The president made the revelation in a speech before the Filipino community in Moscow, Russia, where he was on an official visit.
So at the end of my term, baka ma-firing squad ako, baka they will hang me, or electric chair. Sabihin ko lang na bago ako mamatay, sir, pakitawag lang yung singer sa Russia nung kumanta nung mag-duet lang kami ng Ikaw. Pagkatapos magtingin ako sa kanya kagaya kanina, pero gusto ko siyang tignan sa mata. Pero ang mata ko, yung isang mata ko dito sa mata niya. Yung isang mata ko umiikot kung saan-saan pumupunta. Ganon ako eh. May talent na magtingin ako sa iyo. Yung isang mata ko bumaba. Kita mo maliit yung isa? Tingnan mo. O di maliit? Yun. Nagsasariling biyahe yan. This I use for ano bang maliit sa akin? Ito siguro. Because actually that's my myasthenia gravis. It's a nerve malfunction. I got it exactly from my grandfather. Ganon rin siya. So I believe really in genetics. Kung anong sa kanya nakuha ko, kamukha ako daw ng lolo ko.
The United States National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke said myasthenia gravis is an autoimmune neuromuscular disease that causes weakness in the skeletal muscle. It said certain muscles, such as those that control eye and eyelid movement, facial expression, chewing, talking, and swallowing, are often, but not always, involved in the disorder. There is no known cure for the disease, but there are available treatments for control of the symptoms that give the patient a high quality of life. The nuclear energy agreement between the Philippines and Russia is uncertain, Malacanang said on Monday after President Rodrigo Duterte barred that the deal may be unconstitutional.
They're discussing whether it's feasible or not.
Yes, if it's...
Kung mga nasa area, ano pa lang yun, pinag-uusapan pa lang.
Alright, sir.
Wala pang sigurado doon.
During Duterte's 5-day official visit to Russia last week, the Philippines and Russia signed a memorandum of intent to explore the possible construction of nuclear power plants in the country. This was among the 10 business agreements signed between the two countries, estimated to be worth $12.57 million or about 650 million pesos. However, Duterte barred that he would consult his cabinet first, since the deal may be a violation of the Constitution. In November 2017, the Philippines and Russia agreed on a nuclear cooperation program under a memorandum of cooperation signed during the 12th East Asia Summit. Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi said this cooperation is part of the government's intention to develop a variety of applications for nuclear energy that are within policies, particularly for power generation. The Bataan nuclear power plant is the country's first and only nuclear power plant built during the term of former President Ferdinand Marcos. However, it never became operational due to safety concerns and corruption issues. Deepening ties between the Philippines and Russia could make the United States feel a little insecure about its relationship with its only military ally, Malacanang said on Monday. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo made this remark after Duterte arrived from his second visit to Russia last week, securing 620 million pesos worth of business deals. Panelo, however, assured that stronger Philippine-Russian ties will not affect Philippine-U.S. ties, emphasizing the president's policy to be open to other allies as well. Panelo said partnerships with other countries would likely prompt the U.S. to give more importance to the Philippines, including fair deals. In 2016, the U.S. State Department halted the sale of firearms to the Philippines over concerns on human rights violations in relation to the administration's campaign against illegal drugs. The Philippines started looking for cheaper arms from Russia and China, two countries that assisted the Philippines when the Marawi siege took place in May 2017. Last June, Duterte said he is open to buy arms from the U.S. after it stopped its purchase 3 years ago.
Watch your favorite Net25 shows on OSN Channel 725, same day as the Philippines.
Accurate and fair reporting. Not only from Batanes to Tawi-Tawi, but also abroad. Detailed and timely stories relevant to people all over the world. Catch all of these at Net25, your reliable source of news, entertainment, and technology updates.
Welcome back. Authorities nabbed an Indonesian woman on Monday for bringing 8 kilos of shabu with an estimated worth of 54.4 million pesos at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. The passenger was identified as Agnes Alexandra, who arrived in Manila from Cambodia. Alexandra claimed that a friend just asked her to bring the luggage here. Beth Pableo, Arrival Operations Division Officer in charge, told the Philippine News Agency. Pableo said Alexandra used just one luggage to hide the shabu. She said she hid it below the bag's lining and also wrapped the shabu in aluminum foil, and an X-ray scanner at the airport detected the item. Alexandra, as well as the 8 kilos of shabu, had already been turned over to the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency for further investigation. The Department of Labor and Employment on Monday announced a total ban on the deployment of overseas Filipino workers to South Sudan due to the unstable peace and security situation in the North African region. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III said the deployment ban was issued after an alert level 4 was declared by the Department of Foreign Affairs due to the escalation of violence in South Sudan. Bello said in a statement, in a resolution, the governing board of the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration decided to impose a total ban on the processing and deployment of all OFWs bound for South Sudan until further notice. The DFA said it raised the alert in South Sudan to level 4 from alert level 2 due to the upsurge of violence that erupted between the forces allied with President Salva Kiir and the protection unit from the SPLA in operation of Vice President Riek Machar. Alert level 4 provides for mandatory repatriation of Filipino workers in the affected area. Upon request of the POEA, the DFA clarified that South Sudan remains under alert level 4 since July 19, 2019. The civil war in South Sudan started in December 2013. Several oil companies have announced for the second consecutive week a price rollback effective 6 a.m. on Tuesday. In separate advisories, Petrogas, Sea Oil, Petron, and PTT Philippines said they will reduce gasoline prices by 0.80 pesos per liter and diesel by 1 peso per liter. Sea Oil and Petron will also cut the prices of their respective kerosene products by 1.15 pesos per liter. Petron said these reflect movements in the international oil market. These additional price cuts will be made as Saudi Arabia oil production is expected to return back to normal earlier than expected following the drone attacks on its oil facilities a few weeks ago. Following the attacks on oil facilities of Saudi Aramco last September 14, prices of oil in the international market posted an uptick due to supply concerns. However, Saudi Arabia said short-term disruptions on deliveries are expected only around this month.
Soccer, the world's favorite sport. And it's no wonder. Spectacular goals and plenty of emotion. The best of game day. Kickoff.
Hi! Ito po si Imelda Papin. Meron po akong surprise sa inyong lahat. I will be celebrating my 45th year anniversary in show business. Ito po ay gaganapin this coming October 26 Saturday po yan, alas 6 ng gabi. Dito po gaganapin sa Philippine Arena. So, maghanda na po kayo dahil this is something different. Alam niyo po, gusto ko magpasalamat sa inyong lahat dahil na-maintain ko po ang career ko. Unang sa Panginoon, syempre po sa inyong lahat na nagsuporta po sa akin. Kaya, I'll see you all sa Philippine Arena at 6 o'clock in the evening, October 26. Napakarami ko po mga guests dyan. Hindi ko na po babanggitin isa-isa. Maraming salamat po. See you October 26.
Net25 shows live and on demand anytime, anywhere on any mobile device on OSN Play.
Events happen around us all the time, in our community, in our country, around the world. Events that affect people, move communities, or simply inspire us. Interesting events that people need to know. In these interesting times, we continue to be a competent partner in delivering news about these events. Fast, accurate, balanced, eager news, because we live in interesting times.
Welcome back. Myanmar's Bozina Andonyar had to sidestep her conservative parents to take up bare-knuckle fighting. But her stealth paid off on her MMA debut when she knocked out her opponent in a record 24 seconds.
Mainly ဒါလောက်တဲ့ဒီလက်ဝဲထိုးရဆိုတော့သူတို့မကြောက်ဘူးမြင်လည်းမမြင်ဘူးဆိုတော့လေကျမတို့ခွင့်မပြုဘူးဒါပေမဲ့ကျမခါကျတော့ဘောလုံးကန်မယ်ဆိုပြီးတော့လိန်ပြီးတော့ဘောလုံးကွင်းသွားတယ်လမ်းတဝဲရဆရာကြီးဖက်ပြန်ချိုးပြီးတော့လက်ဝဲတစ်ခိုးထိုးတော့ဗောနော် အဲ့ဆိုတော့ကိုက fighter တယောက်ကိုလှုပ်တော့မယ်ဆိုကိုယ့်ရဲ့စိတ်တွေကကိုယ့်ရဲ့ဥနှောင်းတွေကကိုယ့်ရဲ့ခန္ဓာကိုယ်ရအားလုံးကို change လိုက်ရတာပေါ့နော် change ရဆိုကိုအများနဲ့ strong ဖြစ်အောင်နေရတယ်အများကြီးလည်းကြိုးစားရတယ်ကိုကတာမ main လေးတယောက်လို့နေလို့မရတော့ဘူးပေါ့နော် အမျိုးသမီးနဲ့အမျိုးသားကိုမခွဲခြားပဲနဲ့ပေါ့နော်ဒီအမျိုးသမီးတွေနေရာတစ်ခုပေးဖို့လိုအပ်တယ်ပေါ့နော်
One of the world's longest water slides was unveiled in Malaysia, a kilometer-long chute that starts on a hilltop before twisting and turning through dense jungle and splashing into a pool. The blue and yellow chute at the Escape theme park runs for 1,111 meters or 3,645 feet and has been awarded the Guinness World Record for the longest water slide where riders use an inflatable tube. And that is latest news in the Southeast Asian nations. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. I'm Maricar Velasco and I am one with 25.